What's up, guys? Let me know if you can hear me and Ronnie that's in the chat. I'll try to make it in on time.
Test, test, test.
So it's good to be back. It's Friday night. I know there's a lot of people, everyone ready to tell Baxter's audio isn't working. All right. I think it is. It looks like it is. Ronnie, you talk again for me?
Test,
Yep.
test.
Ronnie's audio looks like it's working on my end. So does mine. So good to be back. It's a Friday night. Usually stream on Saturday night. Just giving you guys a heads up. I probably won't stream tomorrow night. I got some family things to take care of. If I do, I will hit it up on that late night tip about 10, 11 o'clock Central Time. But got Captain Ron Big Bass on Instagram. Make sure you give him a follow. And we got a bunch of these to talk about. This is the Flush from 6 Cents, the hottest soft dirt bait in the game. Captain Ron's going to tell you a bunch of ways to rig it. And we got the Hogwalla $10 make you holla right here. These are actually very affordable. They're what, like $3.99 or $4.99 a pack? And it really doesn't matter the price because we both got discount codes, so you guys are going to save money anyway. So, but I do want to talk about something serious really quick. I know I don't get too serious on the Baitman show, but I got a really good friend in Texas, and I've known him for about 3 years. And he called me this week, and his brother's going through a really rough, hard time. He was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, which, dude, that's terrible. I hate hearing stuff like that. But he's a big hunter and fisherman. His brother named Matt reached out to me. Said they're having this big fundraiser for him. He said Casey at 6 Cents had sent some Super 6 sacks and asked me to help him out. I told him what I'd do is I'd get on the stream, let him know about the fundraiser. I believe it's his brother or brother-in-law. Great guy. I've met him before. And I posted a link to his GoFundMe in the description of the video. So, guys, if you guys that normally would want to donate to the stream or anything, do not send me any donations tonight or after you watch the video, tomorrow or the next day. If you want to send something, even if it's $1, it doesn't matter. This dude's a good guy. Matt, the one that told me, he's always supported me. I've known him from my retail days. He watches the streams. Buys a lot of the 6 Cents stuff, whatnot. He's a good dude from Texas. And this is my platform. The best way for me to help is to let people know. I'll link the GoFundMe in the description of the video. So help a good dude out that loves to hunt and fish. I'll be sending him some stuff, try to get him taken care of and hooked up with maybe a few more companies. So don't want to get all sappy or anything, but man, we're praying for you. And that's the best way I know to help a dude out. Backstory: lost his house twice due to flooding. Then he got, once that got all taken care of, stage 4 cancer hit him. Lost his house for good. Basically living in a camper now, doing all the tests and stuff. So, man, feel for you. So, anyway, we're in here, and just letting you know if you guys want to help out, that link will be in the description. So, Lucas, I've absolutely tried the Hog Farmer War Pig. It is a nasty underspin. It's a heavy wire, heavy gauge underspin. Probably not something I'd rig with the Flush though. It'll look really goofy. Which I mean, I guess it'd work, but it looks bad. So, all right, Ronnie, floor is yours. I got cottonmouth, bud.
I'm trying to find my comments on the YouTube app. What is going on tonight, dude?
I don't know. I do not know.
Always something, man. I'm excited about these new baits. This the Flush. I haven't got to really fish it much, but you know it's a unique little bait. It's a soft plastic jerk bait. It's got a lot of cool features. You see these fins that are right here on it. I don't really know if those do anything, but like gives it an outline of a shark.
I think it's supposed to keep it like even keeled. Like, yeah. You know, a Zoom Fluke, obviously if you're jerking it, it's going to dart left to right. But have you ever got one that's like, it doesn't really dart left to right, it like spins? Yeah. I think it's supposed to keep it like even plane.
I get the idea of it. I like it. It's a good little bait, you know. You and I talked about just how many different ways there are to rig it. And so I was thinking, you know.
The floor is yours tonight. You're the guy, buddy. I'm just the guy that tells you about the bait.
I got all kinds of little things out here. You guys can't see it, but I got all kinds of little goodies around here. One of the things that with it being cold and going into winter, one of the first couple things that stood out instantly were scrounger and an underspin. Of course, the divine underspin is just a deadly little bait right here, and I think it's going to be really good on the divine underspin. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, I was going to rig it up on one today. I will tell you on the scrounger deal, there's a lot of different heads and styles out there. Like I like the hog farmer one, but you really need to go to something like the Davis shaky fish or the smaller scrounger heads. It's got a little bit smaller hook, just because
Right.
these big ones, the hook's way too big, and
Sure.
it's hard to get it nice and even on there.
Yeah, it looks really good right here on that. You can see it on the underspan. It looks really, really good. You know what's going to be unique about this, especially in the cold water, is versus. Okay, I'm jumping ahead, but here's the well. Um, and so obviously the paddle tail versus the straight tail in the
Right.
winter just has a whole lot less action. I think it kind of like throwing a flat sided crankbait versus a regular crankbait.
Absolutely. Matter of fact,
Uh,
the first guy I seen put an underspin on was Alton Jones, and he was basically using a straight tail fluke or whatever it was
yeah,
at the time. Very little action and just smashed them.
yeah, that was when I first started throwing a swarming hornet, which was like,
Oh, that's
oh
OG. Yeah, I got
yeah,
some.
that's all we put on there was a fluke. You know, we just put a little fluke on there and kind of threw it like that, and kind of use the countdown method. So I think on the scrounger and on the underspin, I think the countdown method is going to be really really good. You know, that was threaded up on there. I'm gonna thread it up right here on this scrounger. You know, one thing that's going to be important, guys, is it's got this split in the belly. So the only real meat that your hook has to grab that top, quarter of an inch or so,
Right.
right in that little area right there. So it's important when you guys thread the hook on, you go through kind of the top of the head. And you make sure that you're not going into the belly, that you're actually gripping some meat right there. So just go right under the surface of the head when you thread that thing. Hey, and you know what? Make sure there's
Yep.
so many things we can't control.
I'm gonna see if I can rig
So,
mine straighter than you, which I
huh?
doubt. I'm rigging one up too. I'm going with a little bit smaller divine head for our pond guys. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
see up here on this that scrounger's old, dude.
That's a good one. I want guys to look at that bill and look at the shape of it. Number one, the coloration on it. The way they're made, the older ones get that coloration. That does not mean they're bad. Matter of fact, the angle and everything of that's right. You just need to sharpen the shit out of that hook.
It's
I
all
mean,
about the angle of the dangle, man.
yeah,
That's gonna whack them.
they'd give them a staph infection with that hook too. So not just
You think rust is a big deal? Because I feel like when it's got rust, they're really gonna bite it.
you know what?
It's flavor.
Sharp is sharp, whether it has rust on it or it's not. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because the most painful hook sets hooks I've ever got in my hand were rusted hooks. So you can't tell me that a rusted hook ain't going to penetrate a bass's mouth.
There we go. I see all the comments.
There we go. All right, so I took that and I put this threadfin shad color up on that, and if you want to get cute, you could cut it down. But like you said, most of the meat in this head is right here at the tip of the
Yeah.
nose, so you don't have a whole lot farther to go. Now, if you want to get real cute, you can drop some super glue on that screw lock in the head. But man, this thing ain't gonna come off anyway.
So for me on both of these, I'm gonna tell you on both of these baits, on baits like this that don't really have any paddle tail on it, I'm probably only gonna throw up to like a quarter ounce. I mean, I might throw a 3/8
right.
ounce especially on the LiveScope if I needed to get down there real quick. The problem is when I move up to a 3/8 ounce, man, I really got to move that bait along. So I'm usually throwing like a quarter ounce. I'm throwing it on 15-pound test, 7.3 medium heavy rod.
Right. So I will say this rig right here is one of the most amazing schooling baits ever. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna see a lot of fish schooling right now where I live, but there are other places, hot water discharges, power plant lakes. The bass will school in the winter. They'll come up, eat. Dude, an underspin absolutely is killer. And I already seen somebody in the chat say, "How do you rig that weedless?" Well, a weedless underspin. Well, I'll show you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I have some owner beast hooks with me. And somebody asked about the A-rig. Honestly, the flush isn't going to be a bait I'm going to put on A-rig. I would go with the well or a regular paddle style swim bait, you know, like your Divine swim baits, Kitex, whatever. The flush just, it's a, without any additive like an underspin or belly hook or something like that, it's not really going to have a lot of action. There you go. So Captain Ron's got his up on with the willow blade.
Oh, Willer.
Now, what I posted on Instagram, a little different. So there's the owner beast with the gold Colorado blade. And
I like it.
Yeah, so that's a little gill color. Dude, in the spring, a little off-color water, maybe running it through some pads, around some pad stems.
For sure.
Open holes on the grass. Got the little gold flash. I think that rigs up really, really good. Now, technically, the hook is supposed to come out here back behind this right here, but this is only like a 5/0 hook, and that's fine. Really, that's the size you need. But
that's the size you need for sure, 5/0.
But the spring lock, what I want to tell people, don't get disappointed, because when you put a spring, it actually shrinks your bait. And that comes to a swim bait or anything. That's why I always go up. Like, a lot of guys be, oh, I throw a 5/0 swim bait hook. I'll throw like a 6 or 8 so I can get my hook a little bit farther to center, because the springs, they kind of suck your bait toward the top of the hook. And to get them nice and straight, you have to do some odd things with them. But that's not going to affect the action of the bait at all.
No, and I think those, especially right now in the cold water, I think the underspin, you know, you're talking about schoolfish, those suspended fish, bridge piling fish, dock fish, anything like that, the underspin with that flush is going to be, I think it's going to be better than, you know, a Kitech or anything like that, especially with that cold water. That water's below, you know, 55 degrees. You want that straight tail. And this deal is not only a straight tail, but when you get into some of those more realistic colors, man, this bait's it's just more realistic than anything else that's out there, really. Really, really badass, especially in a little bit later spring, when the bluegill are really kind of doing their thing and bass are really focused on eating bluegills. I think a wobblehead, I think this dude on a wobblehead is going to be really cool. I'll show you. I got it rigged up right here. But, you know, I just got it rigged up on like a 3/4 ounce wobblehead. And, you know, it's going to, that head's going to sit down like that. And when you're reeling it, you just give it a steady reel. That bait's just going to kind of be all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to give a lot of really unique action.
So let's talk about the bait itself. You know, fluke, it does have a forked tail, but the fluke's forked tails, I believe, are going up and down. I could be wrong. It doesn't have this right here. This is actually to kind of help you you see this little fin right here. It's actually kind of to help you expose in grass, but there's more salt in here, and the way it's distributed, it's supposed to help the bait fall flush, basically horizontal instead of, you know, vertical nose up or nose down.
Yeah. Somebody
said you're wrong, Ronnie Kelly. Said Tim E says you're wrong. I think that's the same guy that told me a Mega Bass Vision 110 isn't a jerkbait.
Nice. So somebody asked if I ever changed the blades out on these. Man, I actually do. I'll tell you a quick story. I may have told you this. I don't think I have, Kevin. Last year at Falcon, in 2019 in January, I went out there and we got on a really good swim bait bite. And one thing that I was doing is I was throwing like a 6 up to 10-aught beast hook, but I was taking this little bitty willow blade off and putting like a 3.5 willow blade on there. And man, made a big difference, a lot more drawing power. So definitely, I think, especially if you're throwing something, you know, let's say you're throwing this owner flashy swimmer and you're wanting to kind of fish grass and you're wanting it to fall and you want to slow the fall down, you could definitely put a little bit bigger blade on there to slow the fall down. I'll show you something else. Something else I like to do on baits like this. Reach it to the. We don't all have little cool tackle shops like you.
Yeah.
All my tackle's in the damn boat. I gotta go out there and dig it all out for things like this.
I have to dig through tackle just to get in here to do these streams. Literally, I spent 5 minutes moving stuff out of the way. I probably got 6 packages this week.
Wow.
Most of them I wasn't expecting. So shout out to Ignite Baits. They sent me this cool hoodie and a bunch of swim baits to give away. And they sent me a discount code also for everybody to use, 15% off Ignite Baits. They make some freaking killer swim baits. You'll see them.
I'm going to take this 4-aught juggler hook, right? Just a round bend hook. Some people like an extra wide gap hook. I'm not a real big extra wide gap hook guy. I will if I need to, but just on a bait like this, I'm just going to thread it up. Just this 4-aught round bend. Just hook it, just like a worm or whatever. And then what else I'm going to do? I'm going to go back here on the back of this, right here on that tail, and kind of bite it off. And then just take this blade right here and put it in its ass right here. And probably the best way to rig it is like, with a small weight. And then you got that little blade on the back. It's going to give it a lot of action when it falls. And I'll show you something a buddy of mine was doing this year, Kevin, that was pretty cool because he was changing the weight a lot and catching a lot of suspended fish on LiveScope.
Yeah.
It's fishing it, rigging it just like this. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but you see how I got that 4-aught round bend hook, and then I got that little blade behind it.
Oh, dude, that's freaking killer.
And then
show that horizontal. We got to see that thing horizontal. Oh, dude.
You like that?
That's freaking sexy, Captain Ron.
So check this out. Here's what else you can do. You could Texas rig it, like put a bobber stopper and a little Texas rig, but you can also take these Nico weights. I call them microphone weights,
Yeah.
I feel like if you stuck this in your mouth and you pulled out, it'd make one of, you know what I mean? So, and then you take this right here and just kind of shove it in the nose, just kind of keep it out of the way of the hook and stuff, and put it in the nose. And then it's just got that ball, and it lets it dart, gives it a little erratic dart because it's off center.
Yeah.
But you can also change the weight depending on the fish. And this is really good for guys that are targeting suspended bass with LiveScope. If you need to go down
to
16
Put that thing back
down.
up here. Don't put that away yet. I got to teach you the ways, man. You got to make sure you keep that up for the viewers. You needed to get a shad one.
Dude.
If you had a shad colored one, it'd look even better on camera. But that's pretty nasty.
I don't even have a shad colored one. Dude. They sent me all these bright green watermelon gill. Oh, pimp down. Hold tight.
TikTok light is down.
Watermelon red sunfish.
I actually like the gill colors, but I'm a big fan of the shad color ones too.
I am too. They're gonna have to send me the shad color stuff. I need it. So there's that.
Dude, that looks. You know what I would like that for? All right, let's say you're throwing your frog on a mat. They come up, miss the frog, fire that sucker right in the hole. Do like a little shad falling down in there.
I know this seems extreme, but I'm going to tell you I did it a lot this year with some other baits, and it was really good. I'm just going to thread this up over the threads there, but putting it on.
Michael Mann wants to know, wouldn't the nail weight get in the way of the line tie?
No, it doesn't. So you want to put it to the side. Did you see how I did this real quick? Can you see that?
Oh, that's double nasty.
That's double nasty. And one thing I've noticed with using LiveScope, man, is flash spinners or anything like that. Man, they're a big freaking deal, dude.
Really?
Backtrack that a lot. More so than I think we ever truly realized.
You think it gets their attention, or do they look at it, or does it actually cause them to react a lot more?
I think it gets their attention. I think it draws them. And they do react. I mean, you see a lot of guys with Alabama rig whacking them, especially this time of year.
Right.
And especially with LiveScope. So I'm gonna show you again how I put that Nico weight in there. Let me grab another one. So you want to so you would have your line tie would be right here. Your knot would be right there. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go up underneath a little bit, just behind where the knot would be. And I'm gonna see if I can show this to you guys. Can you kind of see where that's at?
Yeah, it's kind of it's actually below.
Yeah, and it does make it fall a little to the side. You know, it kind of falls this way a little bit, and then when you twitch it, man, it just, and then that blade's just spinning as it goes down. This is a proven technique. This is something that I use fairly regularly, especially when I start seeing fish suspended on the LiveScope. I start dropping that dude at them. and that's something really well.
I do want to let go. No, I know we're just talking about 6-inch flush, and but you know, if you've got your own favorite soft jerk bait, whether it's a V&M, a Zoom, or whatnot, you can kind of apply these same techniques to everything. So it's just, hey man, it's a new product. We're going to talk about it, but dude, a lot of this stuff we're talking about, we've been doing it in other soft jerk baits.
For sure, for a long time.
For a long time.
Damn, I don't have it with me. I'm sure you got some, but another way I think that this is going to be really good is just let me see if I can find a hook, but taking some lead tape and putting it on the shank of a hook, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, if you knew how unorganized I was, you'd throw up.
Dude,
like these are weighted hooks. They're just in just a bag.
I don't think you understand what organization goes on here. There's like none. One thing I want to talk about. So I did this show with Mark Menendez this summer. It was on a caffeine shad. All right, so caffeine shad's a really good soft jerk bait, and it's got a shimmy when it falls. It's one of the few out there that kind of falls horizontally. It does sometimes. You can make it nose up or down on the hook. Mark is a big round bend offset hook. He doesn't throw a lot of EWG hooks.
I don't either.
Now, explain to the people why you would rather go with a round bend hook versus an EWG style.
So there's a couple reasons. Number one, when you just start talking about, and this is kind of a modified hook. This is a jugular hook. But when you start talking about EWG hooks, okay, let me grab one. When you get
because I know I'm gonna get that question, we might as well knock it out, right?
Yeah. So when you start getting into this, man, you've got just a lot of flex. Now this isn't a good example because this is a really big gamakatsu hook, but you've got too much flex here. That's number one. Number two, your hook is not really in line with the line tie. That's another thing that I don't, or excuse me, it's too in line. I said that
Correct.
Completely. The point of the hook's going right there. So when you're pulling that line, that hook's essentially going straight where that line's going. And it's kind of going out of the mouth to an extent. As on a round bend hook, the hook's here. So when you pull, when that line goes up, the point of that hook's going to the side of it, which would be the upper, the bottom lip. But both things for me, both the flex of the hook and the point. And then the other thing is it's just a little bit more natural. I think David Dudley was kind of the first professional tour level angler that really made his name with a soft plastic jerkbait. I mean, he was the fluke guy back in the day. And his big deal was taking, 4 and 5/0 round bend gamakatsu hooks, putting lead tape that he got at the golf shop on the shaft of it, and then rigging them up and making them look extremely natural to where the hook really didn't show or anything like that. And you just had the bait. So,
and the cool thing with the tape, Ronnie, is you don't have to go buy I do it. Dude, I got like 10 different size beast hooks. I've got 6-inch weighted swim bait hooks that are different sizes than the beast hooks. If you can get a roll of that tape pretty cheap, and you can just keep it there, cut some strips up, keep it in your box. And if you want like a 1/32 ounce, maybe you just want it right under the surface, or maybe you want it even faster, just add more tape. It's a really good hack, and you can do it for a lot of baits, not just soft jerk bait. You need to wet a crankbait a little bit, throw it up under the lip. I mean.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm trying to find, one thing that I like to do is, and I'm not going to be able to find a hook right now. Instead of using just a round bend hook when I'm using lead tape, I'll use a twist lock hook. Just a plain twist lock hook with nothing on it, and then put a little tape weight on that. And I'm going to show you one. This isn't the right one for this particular bait, but just so you guys get an idea. If you look right here, you can see on the shank of that hook, I've got some tape weight. I throw my horny toad, a lot of baits like that, similar to this, with a screw lock, plain hook, nothing on it, and then put a little tape on it, just to kind of keep the bait. It's not going to do much. It's going to make this fall horizontally, but it's going to make sure that bait falls belly first.
Now, do you ever put a treble hook on your flukes?
No, I haven't.
I've seen guys use. It seems like it'd be a river deal, high current deal, where a lot of times they go after your soft jerk bait and miss, or an open water smallmouth deal. And the way I've been told, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do the line through approach with the pop rivet, coffee stir or whatever. Or you can actually modify, like, where guys will take like an EWG style. The reason I do that, they'll put the same stuff that spinnerbait trailer hook is, and they'll just put like a number 4, number 6 little treble back there.
Right.
I've not done it, but I know a lot of guys do, especially, and guys do it with a Kitech all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Especially those bigger ones. I mean, it's a big deal on those bigger baits. You know, and another thing we hadn't talked about, and I'm gonna bust out the old crack hammer bag, baby. If you guys don't know about the crack hammer at Dairy Queen,
yeah, this is now our new name, the Crack Hammer. I'm gonna answer a few questions here. I'll shout them out to you too, Ron. Ron, what Kistler rod are you fishing those style baits on?
I'm throwing a 7.3 medium heavy helium. It's got backbone, but not a lot of backbone. It lets me, you know, the main thing is on these baits like this 6-inch underspin is it's a pretty light wire hook, so you don't want to overpower these fish. 15-pound test and 7.3 medium helium, medium heavy helium. Yep. Now, if I go up to 3/8 or a half ounce, I might go up to like a 7.6 medium heavy. But man, that 7.3 medium heavy pretty much covers all the scrounge or any of these open hook type baits. Now, I will say this: I'm not opposed to throwing it on a composite rod. I just don't think that you need to. Right. I don't really have issues with fish missing these baits or not getting them good or anything like that.
Now, if you're throwing a fluke, like, I'll be honest, I like a 7-foot medium heavy. The most common rod out there, because I feel, especially if I'm catching them and I'm wanting this thing to shimmy to the ball, I want to fish it just like a Cinco. I don't want to pick up a lot of line. When I pull it up and down, I don't want it moving 8, 9, 10 feet. I want it move it, keep it in place. And for me, if I'm working, you know, jerk paws or jerking it, however I like to do, you know, I get erratic sometimes with it.
Yeah, that's what I have mine on a 7-foot medium heavy Z-bone.
Right.
That's what
Basically, I use a little, but I kind of agree with you on open hook, underspin style, a 7.2, 7.3 medium heavy, whatever is your favorite. So a little soft tip. You don't need I don't feel like you need a composite rod, but you do have to have a little soft tip. You want it to load up. You don't want to just jam them like a 3/4 ounce football jig.
Another thing I think, I'll rig one up real quick, but I think this is going to be a really good chatterbait trailer. I've always been a big fan of having a straight tail on a chatterbait at times, especially in cold water, something that doesn't do a whole lot. Like a Z-Crawl Junior, even though it's got some flappy tails, it's not a lot, you know. But something like that. So let's rig this up on a chatterbait and look at it. This is a Brett Hype Delight. Crack.
You better have you one of them good gill colors put on the back of that.
Oh,
don't be doing no crazy black and blue.
No, I don't do all that stuff. I'm pretty simple man here.
You gotta make them pretty, bud.
Of course. That's half.
My box is on the very freaking bottom of the shelf by all these old Bagleys.
There we go. Dude, that's dope.
That is. If we could see the trailer, because it's blending in with your hoodie. There we go. You gotta get that. Gotta get that hand. Yeah, that'll work right there. And that's some meat on that thing too. It's not just gonna easily pull off.
That's what it's gonna look like right there.
That's it. I'm digging in my box. I'm getting one that matches up. But
I'm shaking it so much, you're getting excited, ain't I?
I'm getting. Y'all, I got great. Y'all big. Hey, I hope y'all's wife ain't around or anything, because I got gray sweatpants on tonight.
This man's got the gray sweat britches on. Yeah, dude, this is bluegill magic. This is y'all see that right there? See a little woo-hoo-hoo! Whoa. Them gray sweatpants make it shake a little harder.
Oh man, it's my TikTok pants, bud.
You put them gray sweatpants on and it went like that.
You know what? I've got some swim jigs here. I'm gonna throw one on a swim jig too. Now, I kind of like a little action in my swim jig.
I do too.
Where I'm gonna go, dude. I don't know if you've ever thrown the Divine swim bait on a swim jig. It's freaking nasty. Sure. I mean, it's the deal. Let's see. Let's make a real good bluegill. Oh man, I got the one right here. I got the one.
What you got?
Damn, when did I get that chatterbait? I like that.
Crack hammer bag, man. Crack hammer 3000. y'all don't know the Crackhammer story, go back to the last live and watch it. It's a great story.
And it may or may not be true. And I just
Yeah.
somebody messaged me, listen, we ain't promoting buying stolen property. Just people, you don't know, dude. People all the time offer me, hey man, you want to buy this or that? And I think Ronnie was wise enough that he just like, yeah, but I'm gonna let you go. So, all right, this is a custom color jackhammer. You got one of these? This is I believe it's called Sprayed Grass, TW exclusive.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's see. We'll use let's find us a little flush to match up. See what's the best color for this. The Sprayed Grass.
What about that watermelon red sunfish?
Yeah, I got that one. Don't they got a watermelon candy? I got plenty here. And by the way, guys, I'm going to do the giveaway tomorrow night. I'll make sure I stream it. Oh, yeah.
Hey, watermelon gill could be dope.
All right, here we go. This one's it.
I
found the one right here, bud.
I'm excited about this. That's a lot of bait right there. That's a mountain.
Here's the watermelon candy. Oh, man, that thing's sexy. By the way, I'll tell you the most underrated way to use this here in just a second. Me and Casey were talking about it today.
Yeah.
It's a Texas deal, and it's kind of turned into a Tennessee River deal in the last few years on a soft. Oh my gosh. Yep. That dude right there on the chatter wagon, that watermelon candy with that sprayed grass bladed jig, jackhammer. I mean, there is no other blade jig. I mean, I'm just gonna let you guys know. There's a jackhammer, and then there's whatever else Z-Man makes, and that's about it. I mean, there's some other good ones. The original D&M's, the old Phoenix are good, but one thing I like about that is the trailer is soft enough. It's going to flex down a little bit. It's going to hold up. Man,
it's a really good plastic. I will say that.
That is, dude, that's killer. I love that. Here's the most underrated way to rig any soft jerkbait. Carolina rig.
100%.
Like,
I don't think it's underrated. I mean, I throw this on almost probably more so than anything.
Yeah, so several years ago, back in the Kentucky Lake heyday, because it's taken a little hit, I fished with a guy, and he'd been telling me, yeah, I'm going to go fishing with, so I took him out, or I went with him, and he let me drive, and I put us on school. He's one of them dudes I wasn't worried about because he couldn't find his way. He couldn't find his way to his house without a GPS, but... Dude, he was Carolina in a green pumpkin candy fluke and freaking smoking them. And I'm throwing my ringworm, my Lucky Strike ringworm, plum worm. I'm catching bigger fish, but he's getting 10-to-1 bites. So I was like, man, what made you want to rig a fluke? And he said, well, to be honest with you, I ran out of brush hogs one day and put this thing on there. And I just started catching them like crazy. So me, I'll tie one at home, go to my buddy's house, he's got a pull, and I'm dragging it around. So, a lot of baits, they just kind of pull, and they just kind of pulse and sit there. You put a fluke back there.
Yeah.
And then it do that shimmy down. This guy right there.
Here's how I look at it. When you're up shallow, solid plastic jerkbait, fluke type bait, this flush, I mean, it's one of the deadliest baits. It's one of those deals where if there's some fish around, they'll bite it. Yeah. Even if you're in a finicky mood or they want to be chasing whatever, they're still going to bite this type of bait. And so the way I look at it is on a Carolina rig, all I'm doing is getting that same presentation a little bit deeper. And I'll start throwing it, like early February into early March. I'm throwing a lizard or what I'll probably be throwing now a lot is the new Hogwalla. This is going to be my, pre-spawn Carolina rig bait. But after I kind of move off of it, I usually will move into a fluke style bait, soft plastic jerk bait. So this will be a really, really good Carolina rig trailer.
We got a $5 make you holler from my buddy Sean Lai. Thank you, Sean, for the donation. These baits are sexy bait, man. If you kept around, hit the town together, you'd be cracking bass and taking numbers. You're awesome Southern gents. Hey, thanks, Sean. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that donation, and I'm going to send it toward my buddy's GoFundMe fund. Help that dude out. And then my buddy Monty McWilliams just dropped that $50 make you holler.
Awesome.
Monty, I appreciate it, man. I said earlier in the stream, I got a buddy that's going through some prostate cancer. Got some really hurting with medical bills. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send him a total of $55 tonight. So just assume y'all's donations went to help him out. I really don't want any donations tonight. If you guys want to donate to the stream, wait till after the stream. Go to that GoFundMe link in my deal and donate to my buddy Matt's brother-in-law. Help him out with he's got stage 4 prostate cancer. So there we go.
Somebody said something about double rig. Absolutely, man. It's going to be deadly on a double rig. No doubt.
Oh yeah, donkey rig. You know, I'll be honest. I've never had that much success with the donkey rig.
Yeah.
But you got to throw it to have success. But I know several guys that, you know, Menendez is a big guy. He swears by it. I'm telling y'all, you guys see this show. You can apply a lot of the same techniques he used with the caffeine shad to the flush. Any soft jerk bait's got that salt. Depths has got a good one. He really basically fished it like a Cinco and freaking smoked them. And the thing is, we'd fish Lake X, and yes, it's a private lake, whatever. But dude, we'd fish it 2-3 times the year, and it literally was taking us 10 hours to catch 6 bass. It had gotten it's been getting really tough there. And dude, we caught a few on Ocho and whatnot. But they wanted to fall in that profile of something that looked like a shad or a bluegill or whatnot.
For sure. You know, just plain Texas rig, you know, just the 1/8 ounce Texas rig on this is going to be just deadly, especially on grass or up shallow when the bass are up spawning. That's going to be a really good way to rig it. Don't sleep on that. And I'll tell you something else. I like to throw, especially in the fall, I like to throw a buzzbait without anything other than just a trailer.
I've heard a lot of guys put a fluke on a buzzbait.
Bro, I love it.
Really?
I whack them.
Like,
whack them.
How heavy a buzzbait? Like a quarter?
Ounce.
Right. Just kind of real finesse approach.
What?
Heads up. You're going in and out. So like a real finesse style buzzbait.
Right. Especially in the fall. I think in the fall that's its time to shine. In the spring, I'm throwing a little bit louder buzzbait. You know, something that's got some headbanger, clacker, something like that to kind of get some irritation. But in the fall, I've got that finesse buzzbait going on. Just 1/4 ounce plain Jane. I'll throw that sandtone, thread the fluke up there, or thread this flush up there, and it's deadly, dude. I mean, it's really good, especially in these like the white type colors, stuff like that. On just a white buzzbait, it's nasty for sure.
Dude, that's kind of an underrated deal. I've thrown paddle tails and stuff like the whale. That's my deal. Like rig the whale or a similar style, a little bit fatter, floated up there. Someone mentioned Nico rigging, and I really want to say nothing about that. But you want to talk about a way to catch some really big fish off a bed? Soft jerk bait, a bright color, a white or a gill color, Nico rigged, or even you could, dude. I know some guys just throw a ball head and they want that thing just rooting around on that bed. Sure. A lot of times those bass cannot stand it, and they just come up there and crush it.
Yeah, I guess Nico would be. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a little. Honestly, this size is a little big for a drop shot.
I'm sure we'll see some different sizes soon, though.
Let's see. Oh, Darius King, my man Darius, he sent me a box of some juice stuff this week too, man. I sent Baitman Jr. a bunch of baits too. Shout out to Darius. We're going to unbox that this week. Here's a Kentucky Lake deal we like to do around the Yellow Flowers. Split shot.
We call it chicken shit rig.
Chicken shit rig. Yeah?
Yeah, just a light Carolina rig. That's what we call it around these parts, fella. Around here, we don't marry our cousins and stuff. Well, most of us don't. Some of us might. Godon might be married to a cousin.
Well, I'll tell you where that works really good is you're a guide. Not everybody you take out has the ability to toss a Carolina rig really well. Or could even use a bait caster. You could throw a little split shot fluke around up shallow. They can get it out there, even if it's a little bit windy. They can still catch a lot of fish.
Absolutely. I'm rigging up one more little deal here. I think it's going to be really good around the spawn, and just good in general. Let me get this going, and I will tune you in here. Yeah, this thing's versatile. I mean, this is going to be one of the most versatile, probably the most versatile soft plastic they have. Actually, it's going to be the most versatile soft plastic they have. It's just got so many applications. And the beauty is this is a really good plastic, dude. I mean,
Yes. So these, I want to clear something out. Someone posted on Facebook that they're disappointed that they got 6 cents and it said made in China, and they said, well, it's supposed to be made in the United States. The flush and the new Hogwalla are made in the USA. I know where they're poured. I'm not at liberty to say or going to say, but they are made in the United States. Going forward, according to Casey, you're going to start to see more of the soft plastics being poured. Some of the stuff like the prawns, stroker crawl, whatnot. You'll probably start seeing that stuff come in, the new packaging, and being poured in the United States. So those are only going to get better. I mean, I'll be honest, the prawn's a little stiff for me, but in the end, I'm not really. It's not a rage crawl or something. It's not meant to have a lot of action.
It's a great punching bait. It's my favorite, and I like it because I can get multiple fish on it.
Right.
Or something like that, man. You set the hook and miss, and it's done. The bait's no good.
Right.
The prawn last. Here's another way to rig it. This is a Tokyo rig.
Oh hell, I wasn't gonna say it, but you are.
Yeah, I think a Tokyo rig. That weight sitting down like this, and then that flush just kind of moving around. Man, I think that's gonna be deadly.
Dude, I can tell you, pitching around bushes, bedding fish, dude coming up, rolling up to a boat dock with that Tokyo rig, just dropping it by a post where bedding fish might be at. Save that for Choke Canyon because we're gonna catch them on that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be real good. You take it. The bluegill are up there doing their deal, and you just kind of take that and drag it real subtly around there and give it some shakes. Those bass are gonna destroy it.
Old Toad, no, it's a different plastic than the stroker crawl, which I love the stroker crawl. I'm not really worried about the body. I just like the legs on it. I like it because they're durable, but it is a different plastic. It definitely is. Like I said,
I go through more stroker crawl than any other bait in my box.
Man, I don't, but I also don't fish as much as you. But
yeah,
I mean, I fished all day on Lake X and another place, and I literally used 3, and I caught them. It's just that.
Oh, we go through, and I'll tell you what, that stroker crawl is a badass swim jig trailer. Putting it on there vertically and letting those legs kind of kick like that.
Yep.
Giving it the old Bama shake, boy.
Bama shake. Well, dude, it's. I love soft jerkbait fishing, and there's a video on my channel of me actually fishing with Fluke Master. I may or may not have actually caught more on a fluke than he did. I can't remember. We both actually caught him pretty well. But one thing, just the old school way, no weight on it, and visually seeing a bass come out from cover or in open water, just attack that thing. Let me ask you: Are you a mono, braid, or fluorocarbon guy if you're fishing a soft jerkbait visually open water?
The only time I don't even throw monofilament fishing line at all. The only time I'll throw mono is maybe on big baits like glide baits, really big plastic swim baits. But I'm throwing fluorocarbon.
Really?
Yeah. And there's not a lot of times that I'm just really watching that soft plastic jerkbait. I might throw it on a real light hook and twitch it around, but man, not a whole lot. It's just not something I do. I'll throw a rogue or something like that more so than that.
Well, see, a fluke is one of the techniques. I will use mono. I'll use like 15, 17 pound mono.
Just to kind of keep it up.
Well, when I do this, more than just keeping it up, I want it on top of the water and actually skipping out. So I want a light EWG hook. I actually like the Mustad grip pin if I'm going to go EWG on it because it snugs up and it would be perfect for this bait. But I'll work it really fast where it's just right up on top, and about every third or fourth twitch, it'll like pop out of the water. You can't do that with fluorocarbon because the line sinks. It's kind of a special mono deal. So you do lose a few fish because you don't get the hook in them real good because it's stretchy. But man, it's like you can do that around buckbrush.
Oh yeah.
yellow flowers, grass.
Gator grass, all that stuff. Lily pads, for sure. And it's a great dock bait. You can skip docks real well with that.
No problem, Monument Williams, bud. Thank you for that $50 make you holler, bud. I'll holler at you sometime. I've been up for like 26, 27 hours straight. I literally didn't go. I went to work last night and didn't go to bed at all today. Ronnie's killing me over here. I'll be fine though. Shout out to everybody up in the chat. We got almost 200 viewers tonight up in here. A lot of people streaming tonight. Ike Live streaming, Alex Rudd streaming, other guys.
Nice.
Everybody's trying to get on that stream train. Y'all remember who the OG is, though.
Somebody asked if, hold on, let's see. I've used a stroker crawl and a chatterbait. Yeah, I have. I've used a stroker crawl kind of on everything. I like it. I think it's good. I think a lot of baits work on it. I'm kind of on this Z-Crawl Junior kick right now. I've been throwing it on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, dude. Z-Crawl is a great bait. Damn, I just found a sharkfish and purple bladed jig.
Man, I'm tearing up on my baits, man.
Yeah, that's why I have them send me quite a few, to be honest with you, Ronnie. Because I like to demonstrate and show all that stuff. And I got to have some extras around here for that. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Someone says grab a Mountain Dew and crank it up. Dude, I have drank so many Mountain Dews today that I'm afraid my kidneys gonna run out of my body in my sleep today.
Someone said the only wrong way to fish a stroker crawl is to not fish it at all.
that's a good point.
Great shaky head bait, Texas rig, jig trailer, punching bait. And it is a really good swim jig trailer. I can't stress enough. With that, just giving that swim jig that shaking action, letting it fall in the holes of the grass and shaking it, man, it's freaking. That's probably my favorite way to fish it right now. Do you get on kicks? Like, I get on these kicks, dude. My buddies always joke about it, and I'm like, everything's my favorite way to catch them. I'm a fishing guide, but by God, I bet I catch more damn fish than most fishing guides because I like to fish.
Hey, I'm like the opposite. I catch less fish than all the YouTube fishermen. You know what I mean? But I got more baits.
You do got more baits. It's all right. You fish less than some guys though, so that's
Dude,
it's all right. But I get on these kicks, right? Like I'll be on a buzzbait, and man, all I want to do is throw buzzbait, and people are like, "What's your favorite way to catch them?" A buzzbait, and then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, "Dude, when's the last time you caught them on a rattle trap?" And then next thing you know, I got that Quake 70 and I can't put it down. Which, by the way, I've got the Quake 70 and I can't put it down. That Rambo Gold is a little dirty right here.
Quake 70 is like top 5 lipless bait for me. I know it, and I hate to say that because it's not been out that long, but for the amount of fish I've caught when I throw it, dude, it's nasty.
Can you see that? Can you see that?
Dude, that's freaking Linda Lovelace right there. Deep throat.
But all the way in her throat, dude.
Now, when you get one that gets it that deep, how do you get it out other than just? I mean, you just can't go in there ripping stuff out. Obviously.
You got to go up through their gills and get the hooks loose. And as you're kind of jiggling the bait and trying to get it, and then what I'll do is I'll get the hook loose and I'll push the hook up and like try to get the hook to sit on the outside of the lip, and then I'll go maybe on the other side and get the other hook and get it out. And got to be all real careful. You got to go through their gills all real carefully.
You know what's weird though? I've caught several fish on traps like that and square bills. I kill less doing that than I'll have like eating a Cinco.
Absolutely.
And then rig, stuff like that.
There's your swim jig bite right there. That's what's going on in East Texas right now.
Woo! And if you guys want to go fishing with Captain Ron, slide in his DMs on Instagram.
For sure. Hit me.
He's got some open spots in January, March, February. I'm going to go hang out with him for a week. I am actually going fishing. I promise you guys, I'm not going to embarrass myself. I think Ronnie's going to go, damn, he actually knows what he's doing. I mean, he ain't never been milking, but he can catch a few.
There's no yeah, we got Ben coming down. You're coming down. Justin Royal hopefully is coming down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to grow your goatee out a little longer just to fit him by.
Dude, that dude's awesome, isn't he?
He is. Royal's a great guy, man, and he gave me a shout out in one of his recent videos, and it's a pretty humbling deal. Or I was very flattered. And hey, man, I'm just here to make content. People can watch if they don't want to, no big deal. But I like being fun and helping people catch fish. I'm going to answer some questions here. Somebody says, any truth that 6 cents may be bought out by another company? I'm going to be straight up honest right here. There's absolutely no truth to that.
No way.
I literally talk to somebody there every other day. And just from what I know about the future, that ain't happening.
No.
But what I can say is probably happened is a couple other companies have gotten together and because I've actually heard it from some other people in the industry saying, well, I figured Casey would sell or he would build it up so big and he would sell out. And I think there's a lot of people hoping it's 6 cents.
You know what, dude? If Casey builds the company up and he sells it, makes a killing on it, good for him.
Heck yeah. That's very American.
But the following behind 6 cents is pretty cool. It's something I really haven't seen very much of before. It's a unique deal.
Cole and Jay says Cole says he's gonna come to Texas. That's good because we need somebody to wrangle all these snakes I'm probably gonna snag at Choke Canyon.
Bro, people are scared of snakes around here.
I'm not that bad. Dude, Cole, he just gets in there and grabs them. Like, I think he was born with anti-venom for North America's most deadliest venomous snakes. So he just like, whatever, come bite me. I got this. That's a good question. What's the difference between a Snatch and a Quake? And we were talking about the lipless bait.
Yeah.
I think I got a Snatch somewhere. I just made a new Quake box the other day. If I can find some of a gun. Ronnie, would you say the Snatch is primarily a louder bait than the Quake?
Yeah, it's definitely a louder bait. And then, it feels like the Quake digs a little bit harder maybe. But I'll tell you this. I like them both, but I love that Quake. That Quake, the way it fishes through grass, the way it fishes, it's an awesome bait.
There we go. I was able to find it real quick. This is the old Milliken, the Brown Eye Special. Bass like to look at this from behind. It's a really good one. And then, so here's the Quake. I love this color. My balls, I'm down on the balls, so this is definitely a Texas orange and white right now. But the Quake, actually, it has a different, more of a JDM profile to it. It's got the fin up top.
Right.
Now, let's see if we can hear a difference. There's a Quake, a lot of BBs in it. Loud but subtle. Oh, yeah.
Higher pitch.
Higher pitch and more of it.
Yeah.
That is. So, Lake X, a few years ago, my fishing partner, first time I seen the Snatch in action. Like I didn't owned just some 6 cent square bills. He pulls out a bright red one. Dude, he catches like 2 7.5s. Now I catch some giants on a scrounger, but every one of them he hooked on this thing had it choked and they didn't come off. And he's like, hell, I've never picked that bait up in my life. But what he was doing, throw it out there, kind of all the way down and hopping up off the bottom, just letting it fall all the way down. And those fish were just crushing it as it was falling. I like to actually fish the Quake a lot faster than many other baits. Like I'll throw it out there, shallow waters where I like it. Shallow bars, shallow points, shallow flats, burning down a bank. I'm really on 8 to 1 and I'm pumping it. Like as I'm coming in, it's almost like you're ripping it from grass. All I'm doing is trying to keep it off the bottom and let it fall. A lot of times they just grab it right like that. So that's the main difference in the Snatch and the Quake. Both are excellent baits. I know Cole and Jay love the Snatch. I mean, I love the Snatch.
Snatch is a great bait. I throw them both. I'll have one rigged up on one rod and have a customer throw it, and one other customer throwing a Quake. And if something seems to be catching them better, then we'll switch everybody over to that.
I do feel like, Ronnie, on lipless baits, bass, especially in the spring, they get really accustomed to a certain sound or style, and you've got to have a variety. That's why I'll have rattle trap, I'll have a one knocker, I'll have thuds, quakes, snatches. I like the Jackal 10 knocker, red eye shad. I've seen many days where I've been fishing tournaments or just fishing. Guys are throwing red eye shad, they're not getting bitten. You go behind them with just a regular rattle trap style bait, and you catch fish behind them.
People know Bill Lewis, that's for sure. That electric red's a dirty one around here, boy.
Oh yeah. Do you remember the chrome red one they used to make a chrome red? We're gonna have to do a spring grass fishing lipless snatch and stream.
Hey, we're gonna be going down the choke, dude. I mean, they'll freaking they'll eat it. I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna whack them down the choke. All this new stuff that we've got right now, it's all pretty good stuff for Choke Canyon. Especially this beauty right here,
The whale.
This whale.
So what? A lot of people have been saying they've been fishing it weightless on a weightless swim bait hook and burning it on top of grass like a gambler Big Easy.
Or like a yeah.
Those green pumpkin colors, watermelon candy, that stuff's really popular in Florida. Burning over the tops of milfoil and hydrilla, and catching these pre-spawning bass that are staging it or whatnot. So
Yeah. This is gonna be really good stuff down there, man, around that grass. These are all good baits. I'm excited. I do. I'm like you. I like the plastic. I like the smell. This thing smells good.
you know what else we need to talk about, Captain Ron?
What do you use it?
The Hogwalla.
The Hogwalla.
Dude, this color looks so good in it. Kind of reminds me of that Houdini color. It's that watermelon red sunfish.
Yeah, that's right. I got it right here.
It's a very narrow bait. You basically got a set of lizard arms on it, then like a smaller stroker crawl legs, and then you got these long twin tails. The best way to describe this is a cross between a man bear pig and a brush hog. But if you're OG like me, you might remember a little bait around Kentucky Lake at one time called a chicken's foot. You remember the chicken foot?
I do remember that.
If you pull these hands off, you're basically going to have a chicken foot.
I saw your post earlier with that. I get it. I like that.
Yeah, so I took one, and this is a little owner weedless ball head, EWG. You're actually making a Ned rig with this thing, and it's a EWG hook. Could be a good little bed and bait. You can skip it, get real finesse. You're still going to have some twin tail action. Now, you could pull all the stuff off and have a Ned worm. Hell, let's try it. Let's show how versatile. We're going to pull all. Well, hell, here's your double tail grub. We're going to pull all the. So when you get done, if they bite your legs off, look at that little saw bitch right there. That
I'm digging.
is a great.
I'm digging.
Yeah, so sometimes remember stuff like that. So when you go out in the boat in your Carolina rig, your Texas rig, getting the arms rip off, that body's still good. Man, you can make you some new little Ned baits right there. Obviously,
yeah, this would be a great Carolina rig bait. I can tell you that's
dude,
what
absolutely, absolutely on a Carolina rig.
That just a shaky head or a Texas rig and have my customers stow it. I mean, dude, the deal is it's like it could be I mean, the bass don't know what the hell they're eating 99% of the time anyways. But this has got a lot of appendages. It's a really natural looking bait. And of course it's got these curly legs. I mean, you could just look at it and tell it's gonna catch fish.
Dude. Yeah, man. There's a color in here that I think is just. I'm a big fan of this color. In Zoom, it's watermelon blue. That's like my Carolina rigging color. I always catch them on it. But this one that bluegill juice or something, I forgot. There's so many names. So many colors. I got so many. Dude, I don't know where I'm going to put all this stuff. It's bad. I need to hire someone. Of course, it's the last one I find in there. Look at all this stuff. Guys, we're gonna do a Christmas giveaway this week. I'm gonna be streaming next week quite a bit. Probably stream Christmas Eve, Christmas night. Check in with Ho Ho y'all, and then that Friday and Saturday. So we're gonna be doing a lot of streaming next week. But dude, this color is called watermelon gill. Dude, this thing is.
Yeah, watermelon gill is awesome.
Like, so if you're in that clearish water. You don't have to be super clear. I mean, just a foot or two of visibility. Dude, that thing right there, it's kind of like, it's transparent, but you still get that magic crawl kind of effect. You get that blue flake on it, whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I've got to make a short stream tonight, Ronnie. I'm just gonna be honest with you, dude. I'm tired. So let's answer some questions. I don't want to just be a 6 cents promotion. Let's talk some fishing. Let's just straight up talk some fishing to the people.
For sure.
Um,
Answer some questions.
I gotta go through here. Loving the new colors, especially the Mexican spice and mud belly. Absolutely, dude. That Mexican spice is
Looking
that's
good.
hot. It goes with that Mexican heather jig you like to throw.
Love
Let's
it.
see. Yeah, so 6 cents weight swim bait hooks are pretty good. They do have a small hitchhiker on them. You can always upgrade those. I buy the big ones all the time and put them on whatever. Let's see. Chris Jones says he feels the Quake is better for warming water and the Snatch is better for cooling water. That's an interesting take. Timmy, is Academy H2O and 6 cents same crankbaits? No, actually they're not. You can actually look at them next to each other and there's differences in the body and the shape. Do they come out of the same factory? It's very possible. I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot of that goes on. And I used to be the world's worst at, well, this company just looks like this and that right now. There's so many companies using the same factory now that it's just not worth my time anymore to get into those debates. Now, obviously, there's special circumstances that do happen where, another company's made a work agreement with another company and they leave them on red, Googans, and then start their own deal. But, to be honest, there's a lot of people getting all their plastics poured by the same company. Southern Plastics, D&J Plastics, they pour like 95% of stuff in the United States.
Yep.
So,
it's pretty.
But
that stuff is.
Saying that, I'm not telling you don't go buy Academy H2O because I'm gonna tell you if you're in a pinch, they ain't got crazy paint jobs or nothing like that. But if you just want a crankbait that works, you're in a pinch, you're out of town fishing over at Grandma's pond and you forgot your crankbaits, do the Academy H2O stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Dad Bought Angler says, Ronnie, finally bought a swim bait setup and finally threw it for a bit last weekend. Something about the water temps good enough for swim baits? Probably what he's meant. Are the water temps here in Texas cold enough to throw them yet?
I think a swim bait's a year-round deal. Obviously, the colder the water temperature is, the slower you want your retrieve to be. Maybe the tighter action you want in your swim bait. But yeah, for sure, they're cold enough, and I don't think they get too cold or too warm for a swim bait. So yeah, absolutely. If you got a swim bait, now is the time to be throwing it. Right now is the time to catch a giant fish in a swim bait too. So keep that in mind.
Yes, Matt Allen, Tim Little, Tactical Bass, and they put out a video every year how to catch your biggest bass of the year, and it's always this time of year, and there's a reason for that. And this is the time of year if you want to get into throwing a big soft plastic swim bait, this is kind of when to do it. Because bass they're looking for one easy meal. Unless right here, my water temperature is like way colder than yours.
Right.
But they don't want to go out of their way to chase 10 meals a day. They'd rather a big ass steak walk by them than 10 chicken McNuggets. They're going to take the steak. Now, you ain't going to get as many bites, but when you do, but I'm like, I don't think there's a time of year where swim bait's just not a player anymore. I do feel like the glide bait deal's stronger in the early to late fall, and pre-spawn than any other time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is. And right now, you can get a glide bait right now, especially some of these colder lakes these clear lakes that have power plant grass, stuff like that. You can get them to track that glide bait and commit now.
Neil Bone, what company do you think has the most quality soft plastic material? I'd love to tell you 6 cents, but the reality is they just haven't been out that long for me to give you a non-biased answer. Obviously, firsthand, I love the quality of the new stuff. I like some of the old stuff too. Dude, I hate to say it, it's hard to beat freaking Zoom. They've been out forever.
Very hard to beat.
You know what you're getting. If you buy a bag of plum, the plum you get this year is the same as plums 5 years ago. They've got it down to a science. Reaction Innovations is probably number 2. They got really, really good stuff. And then Missile Baits, Big Bite. Z-Man's Elastec, Strike King. But I think number 1, you got to say Zoom. Just one for variety, and the quality is just
But I'm like you. I think these new plastics at 6 cents. I think this, along with the stroker crawl, I think these are the plastics. You know,
Right.
the swim bait is
This
really
has
good.
got that same, zoom feel, almost like, Big Bite makes great plastics too. Got a good feel of them. Kind of feels like net bait-ish. Net bait makes really good stuff too, by the way. They're all made in the United States. It's got that same USA feel to it. And this is not a knock. And I love the stroker crawl and the divine worm's awesome. I think they get those baits in this style plastic, unreal. And those catch fish already. You're just going to
Yeah,
improve on a product.
they
So,
do, and they really do. That stroker crawl is hard to beat.
let's see. Somebody asked, what is your favorite Kistler rod all around?
Man, my
No,
favorite all-around kisser
no.
rod's
What I want you sell me a rod, Ronnie.
I,
I want to get me a new Kistler rod. What's your favorite rod? What model and why? You
all
sell
right.
it to me.
My favorite's gonna be a 7.6 medium heavy helium, and I'm gonna tell you, I can throw anything on it. I can throw a stick bait on it. I can throw a fluke style bait on it. I can throw a swim bait. I can throw a Carolina rig, a jig. I can flip with it. I can do so many things with it. Uh, it's not a great bait to throw real accurate type fishing like skipping docks, that sort of deal. Kind of everything else. It's light. I've got it in my hand all day. It's really light. It's got a long cast ability because it's a long rod. It's got a lot of tip, but it's got a lot of backbone. Man, it's a great rod. It's a really lightweight, extremely sensitive rod. And it's hard to just say, hey, what's your favorite rod? Because, it depends on what I'm throwing, obviously.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
I had to just pick one, it would be I would have no problem throwing 99% of the baits that I throw on that one rod.
Yeah. My favorite rod, Kistler, I owned back in the day, the helium 7-foot medium heavy. I caught so many freaking fish on that thing. I mean, a ton. They made a 610 medium heavy that I really like too. It's just a little bit shorter. That was my brush pile and worm rod. I really liked it. And I love skipping small stuff around docks with that rod.
That's a good rod for that. Yeah, I don't throw a whole lot of short rods. Yeah, it's funny to say short rod and talk about a 7-foot rod, but most of the rods I'm throwing are going to be over 7 foot. But I throw a 7-foot medium heavy helium a lot. Well, I've actually got some 2021s. In fact, I'm doing my swim just because I can keep it in my hand all day, shaking that dude.
Tim E says, tell 6 cents to make a transparent red crawbait. Okay, we got you. Did you see this, Ron? What do you think about this heat right here, babe? Ain't that like that old Lucky Craft Japan crawl? It's kind of transparent, got that clear whitish belly on it, red back.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I don't want to mislead anybody in that giveaway. I thought I said it. I'm going to give you all the plastics, but Casey wrote my name on these or whatnot, so I am going to keep the crankbaits. But I think we've seen enough feedback. I think we're going to get old Kung Fu Crawl. That freaking slam there at Rayburn, Kentucky. Gunnersville. You couldn't get that down to Rip Rap without getting bit at Gunnersville. So, yeah, we got it in the works. And Philip done sent me some prototype photos of the flat 55X.
Nice.
I'm trying to work with him on the bill. Computer lip. I want it at a different angle, a little different shape than what's on the 75, just to get a little bit more deflection out of it. So
what I would like to see is, have you ever seen the OSP Blitz Max?
Bud, you're talking to the Baitman.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Most people haven't seen the Max with the one knocker in it.
Right. It's freaking nasty, and we don't talk about it.
Dirty. That's one of the best square bill crankbaits ever made.
Yeah, dude, Blitz is dirty.
You could throw it in a tree, and it comes through it.
I was talking to a pro the other night, and he lives close to you. I talked to him for a few hours. You know who I'm talking. I mentioned that, and he said, if you knew how many people had Blitz Max in their box on tour.
They're so hard to get, too.
Yeah. Do you remember when everybody used to hound the pros for Lucky Crafts when, like, KJ and Gerald and all come to town? They was like, oh, can I please get some Lucky Crafts?
Yeah.
This guy's like, now people are the pros. Hey, you got any Blitz Maxes? You got any OSP baits?
They're so hard to get, dude. I mean, they're like PlayStation 5s. I seen moms fighting over them at the mall.
If you have a guy come up to you and say, Hey, bud, I got a bunch of Blitz Maxes for $5. He might be a crackhead and watch our stream.
And he wants to meet. He wants to meet me at Dairy Queen on the north side of town. I'm in.
We'll send Joe Don to test the water.
Yeah.
All right, great question here, John Welsh. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button. I've kind of got my second win here. John Welsh wants to know, explain your philosophy on 4-inch swim baits all the time. Great advice from last week's stream. Yeah, why is 4-inch? Why is that the go-to size? Is it just number one? For my perspective, I'm more of I like a 6-inch Bass Tricks. I know some people don't like the 6, but I'm kind of in that 5.5-inch swim bait. That's kind of the standard. 4.5 to 5. A 6-inch Bass Tricks isn't 6 inches, by the way. It's like 5.25 inches. Bruce just wasn't good at math. But why do you think that size is so good all around, Ronnie?
You know, I think it just matches the hatch well, dude. I mean, a lot of your shad swimming around are in that 3 to 4 inch size. You know, I think it probably even the smaller ones. You know, there's some of those 4-inch shad swimming around. Yeah, 4.5 inch, 4.4 inch divine. That's a really good size. I mean, you know, I think it's more of a match the hatch deal versus a 6-inch or 7.5 inch. It's more of a standout type of deal. You know, you're trying to get those straight off gizzard shad that the bass are chasing down. That 4-inch is just kind of matching the majority of the bait that the bass are keying in on.
Ron, what techniques would you say are your weakness? We all have weaknesses. I got plenty of them. Basically every technique. What are things you would like to get better at?
They're asking me?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, you're the fisherman here. I'm just the bait dude.
I think crystal clear water is my biggest weakness. We don't have a lot of it, so when I get around a lot of clear water, I struggle a little bit. Usually, and I'm struggling right here. But I'm going to say my biggest strength is that I don't have a lot of weaknesses. I kind of fish everything. I'm not one that you're going to come with on multiple guide trips and do the same thing. More than likely, if you fish with me more than once, you're not going to do the same thing. You know, there's not a lot of stuff I don't do. Like I said, I get on these little kicks, dude.
Yeah.
Like I might be on a jerkbait kick, then I might be on a swim jig kick, buzzbait kick, you know, all these different glide bait kick, something like that. Alabama rig, you know. So I think my weakness was definitely clear water. As far as the technique, I'm not sure. But
that finesse spy bait and stuff like that, like spark shads on screw heads and stuff, that ain't me. So what you're trying to tell me, Ronnie, is I'm gonna have to bring a lot of shit when I come down there.
Dude,
if we go fishing 4 days, I may need to go through 40 different baits and techniques.
There's a good chance. But we go. Let me tell you something. When I launch my boat, there's about 39 rods sitting on the deck, ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm bringing mine. Somebody asked another good question. Now, let me see if I can find this box. They said, "What is the most underrated bait and unique bait that Spro makes?" And I've got one. If I can find my other Lipless box. Gosh dang it, it's right underneath everything. Return. It come out this year, and it's a really unique Lipless bait. It's not the Uruku shad. I think it's called like a whack-em-off shad or something like that. But it has a really good sound to it. I don't mind talking about other stuff here. But you guys see, I forgot. Wakumu, whack-em-off. I can't remember exactly how you pronounce it. If I can find this guy.
If you pull your baits out and they don't all come out like that, you're not a real fisherman.
You got, actually what you got is damn problems.
Nah. You know, I get people bring their baits out and they got a box and it's got one bait in each little slot, and I'm like, that ain't it.
Oh, those are the guys that buy, the guys that have those one little baits in each slot. Those are the ones that buy that, what's that thing, little Darren always promoting? It's got the plastic in the bottom.
Like, yeah. Lure lock.
Yeah, that's the guys that buy lure lock and keep them in business. Because they'll like make them where they all go at an angle. I'm like, oh, look at my lures. I'm like, yeah, dude, you got 10 in a box. What good's that gonna do you? Anyway, but this is the Wakamu shad or something like that. It's got kind of a weird look to it. Similar to the Uruku shad, but listen to this thing. It's got a real deep knocker, and you can hear those 2 little BBs in it.
I like it. I'm looking at it right here. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
That's a really good bait from Spro. Spro makes good stuff, man.
Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna be honest. I think people talk about 6 cents hooks. They're awesome. You buy a Spro bait too, you know you're getting good quality out of a Spro.
Yeah, they're good bait.
I got a lot of their stuff, man. Highly recommend it. So, all right. When did Spro change the eyes on the Ruku? That's my man TK Tackle Craft. Painting Christmas tree baits. Dude, I haven't even paid attention, TK, to be honest. I don't throw a Ruku that much. They catch. Has an underrated bait for sure. So I just haven't known. Dude, I don't go into tackle shops anymore. I just buy shit from Tackle Warehouse, and 6 cents sends me so much there's no sense in it.
I'm with you on that.
I love going out of town. I know what all those shops around me have. I like going out of town. That's why I'm excited to do a little traveling this spring. We're stopping at some stuff in Arkansas. Calling Jay, let me know on them little secret honey holes. I know there's some. What's the big ones in Texas? Lake Fort Marina.
Lake Fort Marina is pretty good. Lake Fort Resort's pretty good. Oak Ridge has got all the the real unique swim baits, all the Roman maids and all that stuff. And then down at Rayburn you got Tackle Addict. They're freaking awesome. That place is awesome.
I've heard that's a really good in there. Miss Ann's.
I don't know.
Is it Miss Ann's or something like that in Rayburn?
Yeah,
I like to find the stuff. I'll tell you where I find the good stuff at, Ronnie. This is a little tip. Not brand new stuff. Marinas and resorts that they'll carry just a little bit of tackle or have enough selection. And what happens is no hardcore fishermen go in there, and they may have 4 or 5 year old baits. A buddy of mine told me he hit one up some lake on East Tennessee a few years ago and scored like 100 OG wiggle warts.
Wow!
Just bought them all out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a little. He says a little bitty marina, just no one went in there and crushed them out. All right, got more questions. Bobby Eisenhood, what's up, Bobby? I hate fishing with Ronnie because I drop $1 million at tackle shops around there.
That's my dude right there. We had a damn good time Monday and Tuesday.
I saw pics. You're not lying. Cole says, I got a lure light box for someone, and the first thing I did, took the sticky stuff out of it. The reason he asked that question is that he ordered some and they came slant eyes, and he liked the round eyes. Let's not make this a racist thing, TK. Come on.
Ding 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 dong.
Anyway.
Oh, Justin Royal's in the house.
What's up, Justin Royal Fishing? Haven't forgot about us tonight. It's all good. Here you go. Matt R., do you have preference of crankbaits with or without knockers and stain to clear water? You like some knockers?
I like
stained or clear water?
Stained water, I like knockers. Clear water, I like knockers. The only time I'm not throwing any kind of rattles is if I'm not getting bit and I know I should be, or if it just kind of dies off after it's been good, I'll switch up to something with no rattles. Otherwise, I think rattles are kind of the key to throwing crankbaits.
Yeah, man. So many people have been throwing silent crankbaits now for so long. I feel like a rattle is now unique and different. It's, silent's now the norm. They've seen them millions of times. How many guys throw KVD 1.5s and the silent 50X and Spro Little Johns that had no noise? You come in there and got a little rattle and a little jingle in your pocket. Those bass pay attention to it. Kind of like you pay attention to your cell phone.
I love big old knockers, though. I will be honest. I love big knockers.
You cannot lie. Let's see. All right. What would you say medium heavy action rod is the better all around do it all rod? What would you say a medium heavy action rod is the best all around do it all rod? I would say so.
For sure.
I mean if you have to, even if you can make a crankbait rod out of a medium heavy.
Yeah.
I've been in those situations where I don't have a cranking rod and I've had to roll with the medium heavy.
Well, and the reality is, man, I mean, it's not that big of a deal to be throwing glass and this and that. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, we do it because we're tackle enthusiasts. We want to be perfect in what we're doing, and tournament fishing, that one bite can definitely make a difference. But some old dude running down a bank throwing a crankbait on a 7-foot medium heavy, he's probably gonna catch just as many fish as we are with our super duper composite poles.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell people all this time, rods and reels, honestly, is a preference.
Yeah.
Like now, I'll be straight honest with you. There's a hell of a difference between a $300 Metanium and a $99, Lose LFS or whatever. I'm just saying $99. There's a big difference. I always tell people, buy what's within your budget, and then buy what you like. Period. I can tell you, Daiwa reels, they're my personal favorite. I love the SV. I love the CT. But dude, the next guy, he may say it cast far, it don't feel good in my hand. I don't mean the reel's bad or the company's bad. Just not his preference. Royal, he's Shimano guy. I used to be a Shimano guy. I love Shimano reels. Right now, Daiwa's my preference.
All I've got is Metaniums. I got some Corrados for cranking and big swim baits, but I'm switching them up, man.
I'm
put the rods on deck.
I have heard that's a really good reel. I would like to play with it.
It's a really good reel. I'm gonna take all the Shimanos off the deck and put all Kistler reels on deck. So I'm excited. We'll have those in February down at Choke Canyon.
All right, here's a good question. Since so many people throw swim baits like the Kitech, do you think the big curly tail grub can make a comeback? I think those are two different baits, though.
I agree.
I think a lot of guys throw a big curly tail grub now. Spotted bass guys do, but they're throwing it on a ball head and fishing on the bottom. Yeah. Or they're using it on the back of a spinnerbait or something like that. I know guys that put them on A-rigs, just to give a little flair. But I don't think that single curly tail or big curly tail grub's gone away. It's just not talked about as much. But again, two different baits, I feel. Let's see.
Somebody said, "What show Metaniums will I sell them?" Yeah, I'm gonna sell them all, and I've got all three gear ratios. 6-to-1, I'm throwing chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, square bills, that sort of deal. When I go up to 7, I'm throwing a lot of casting stuff, things like that. And my 8-to-1s are all flipping reels.
Yeah, I'll be honest. A guy, it's a big friend of mine, Clint Davis. He does not use any high ratio reels. They're all 6-3-to-1.
The only time I do is just flipping. Now 7-to-1, I think they're great. But when I'm pitching, an 8-to-1 is great. I mean, there's no downfall to using 8-to-1 on a pitching top bait.
Yeah, I love my old Pearl Shimano Chronarch. So I'm out there and I'm throwing. I used to have it. Unfortunately, all my footage is gone when my hard drive died. I freaked out about. But I'm out there messing with not the Dogma, but the Catwalk, Justin Rule style. I'm just working that thing. But I'm throwing the old 100 Super Free Chronarch. And I'm like, man, it's taking forever to get this freaking bait in. And all of a sudden, one sharks it, and I set the hook, and I'm reeling in. I'm like, golly, it's taking a while. And I realized, dude, it's a 6-to-1 reel. And the last few years, I've been so used to running a topwater 7-to-1 or 8-to-1. It's crazy.
And the other day, my swim jig reel locked up on me, and so I switched the reel real quick, and I put a 6-4-to-1 Metanium on there, and I'm throwing it, and I'm just shaking it, and I'm done, and I'm reeling it in. I'm like, golly, man, trying to make my next cast, and it's like takes twice the time to get it in. But I'll say something. I keep 3 or 4 chatterbait rods rigged up. They're on 7.3 composite rods, and they've all got 6-to-1, 6-4-to-1 Metaniums on it. Well, the other day I noticed I'd switched one out. I sent a few into the shop, and I had a 7-to-1 reel on there. And I noticed on LiveScope that just based on the speed of that reel with my customer, he was keeping that bait way too high in the water column. Purposely fishing it slow, but even within purposely fishing it slow, that chatterbait was shooting real high, whereas that 6-4-to-1, it was staying really, really low.
See, that's things that, unless you're in clear water, you won't understand unless you have LiveScope.
Right. There's a lot of things you don't understand unless you have LiveScope. There's a lot of things that change your mind about a lot of things when you get LiveScope. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, man. We could stream for a long time. We could pump some people up. But I want to do some LiveScope videos. I mean, I've obviously seen it work. Filming some guys and whatnot. Dude, Matt Robertson's as good as I've ever seen on it. Like, I'm going to tell you, LiveScope helped him qualify for the Elite Series. And he'll tell you straight up on it.
Sure. Nothing wrong.
But Matt Robertson was kicking everybody's ass around here before there was LiveScope. Again, first thing he told me, he said, I'm going to show you all this, and it's going to blow your mind. And then I'm going to tell you, we're only going to catch about 1 out of every 10 I see. If
It's
that.
true.
He said, and that's because we're fishing individual fish on stumps. He said, if you
Right.
get out to some places, you're going to see 7 or 8 bass. You're just not going to catch them. They're going to look at it. They're going to react to it.
Yep.
They're not going to bite it. He said, but it is good to find out what they will react to and what they'll follow. Make a few adjustments. A lot of times you can start catching a few. So
it's a game changer, dude. It changes a lot of things. Changes your mindset about a lot of things.
Nailbone, who makes good waders in $60 to $80 range? But he spelled waders like bring food to your table. You're hooked up with gator waders, though. I don't know what they got in the $60 to $80 range.
They don't have anything in the $60 to $80 range at all.
I'm going to tell you right now, I have no affiliation with any tackle or clothing company. The gator wader stuff is hot. Whether you're buying an AFCO suit, a Gill, a Sims, gator waders, whatever's out there, spend the money, buy quality. I'm telling you, if you buy cheap shit, your ass is going to get wet.
Hey, and I'll tell everybody something else. I've been wearing a hoodie. It's actually a jacket, but it pulls over like a hoodie. It's gatorwaders.com, GATORWADERS.com. They've got a hoodie called a Bog, B-O-G. It's
sweet.
a Bog 2.0. And it's a pullover zip up hoodie right here. And dude, it is freaking awesome. So in the last month, I've dealt with 23-degree weather, 25 degrees and 20-mile-an-hour winds, and 2 days of pouring down rain in 30 to 35-degree weather. And I have been 100% dry. And I believe you can wear that jacket right there with nothing under it in 30 degrees and be 100%. You put a little hoodie on under it and you're almost sweating.
Really?
So, and it doesn't have zippers everywhere. It's pretty flush here. It's got 2 pockets that are fur lined. The inside of it's fur lined. It's got really good neoprene cuffs that don't have any real hard around your wrist, really smooth. There's nothing that's poking you or anything. And it's just a real flexible hoodie. It's the Bog 2.0. I'm going to highly recommend that.
I'll drop a link in the description of the video.
For sure.
And I bet you got a Captain Ron discount too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Captain Ron 10 is a 10% discount.
Yeah, and all that clothing actually saves you quite a bit of money.
Yeah, Gator Waders does not do discounts. They don't have to. Their stuff sells faster than they can make it. So that was a cool deal to get.
Yeah, I've been researching their stuff, for some other reasons. And, dude, I'm really impressed with their stuff. My wife likes their cheetah print boots,
Dude, hey, and they make that hoodie, that Bog 2.0 hoodie, and those deck boots. So I've got the deck boots as well. I wear them 7 days a week. It's kind of all I wear.
I'll put the link to Gator Waders and all that stuff after the video for sure. Hey, Ronnie, we got a guy asking about a guide trip in here. Straight cash. Hey, Ron, I may be in Austin in April. How far are you from Austin if I were to schedule a guiding trip?
Austin's probably about 3.5 hours. Definitely worth the drive. And I don't know, Baitman, if there's any way. I'm going to put my phone number in here. Is that a good idea?
No, do not put your phone number on the internet.
It's already on bathroom walls at truck stops.
Well, long story short, my boy Jake Lawrence, you'd love Jake, by the way, if you fish with him. He put his number on a stream. Dude, his phone didn't stop ringing for 3-4 weeks. And he said the problem wasn't, he said, I talked to everybody. He said, but I got so many random people that were like, oh, yeah, didn't comment in the chat, and they want to have, like, conversations.
Yeah.
Which is fine, whatever. He said, but, man, I've got some really strange text messages. And he said, I don't think it was, he said, I think it was the aliens that do the Google programming.
I'm going to put my Instagram.
Yeah, put your Instagram. I've got it on the stream already. It's right below your name. It says facebook.com/Captain Ron Big Bass.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
Yeah, DM Ron on Instagram. That's the best way to go, man.
Yeah, for sure. That'd
I'm
be
trying
awesome.
to get your followers up, man.
I appreciate it, dude. Hell yeah. Trying to bring that IG game strong, baby.
Dude, I don't know what's happened on mine. I've kind of slacked this week, but I gained almost 600 followers this month.
Wow, that's awesome.
I just bring the bait porn, that's all.
That's it. Bait hub right here, baby. I wish I had my bait hub shirt on. It's in my camper.
Yeah, so guys, the merch is live. I've only sold like one shirt. I put on Facebook I got merch, and like all these people, oh yeah, I want a shirt, I want a shirt, I want this, one shirt. It's cool though. It's an option. It's up there, but a lot of these companies, they like take your shop down if you don't sell X amount so long. But I'll get some more shirts designed. We gotta get a new design. So
Just Royal said, "Pump the brakes on the phone number." I love it, Just Royal. I wish I had my guitar with me, dude, because I'm telling you, like I can't jam out, but like, yeah,
I can play guitar. Every rose has its thorn. Which pretty much everybody plays.
Bro.
Yeah, I can get up on some Hank Williams Jr. and some David Allan Coe though.
Dude, I'll put a CD in upside down. I got no musical talent whatsoever.
I watched Justin Royal riding a motorcycle. I was editing last night at 4 in the morning. I watched the first and second videos he ever put up on YouTube.
He rides motorcycles, dude. He's like
street bikes,
dude.
Like, and I don't mean like crotch rockets. These are like the cross moto bikes. You know, you can ride on the road. And he's doing this, and I'm listening. I'm like, he sounds just like he is doing unboxing, but he's talking about a bike. Like, it was awesome. It's actually really cool to watch the evolution of his first bank fishing video to where he's at now, dude. I'm really happy for him, dude. He's killing it. And
yeah,
Justin,
cool.
Justin gives me a shout out in that video, man. It made me feel really. I'm just watching his unboxing. I'm editing this TV show, and I hear him say, "Shout out to the Baitman," and I want to tell you the story. And he goes through it, and I'm like, dude, don't have to do that. I feel really cool about it. Lots of love
to the channel over there, man.
I'm all about helping people out, Ron. Me and you are going to stream. There's going to be people that won't watch because Ronnie Kelly's on because they want Epic Eric or they want more baits or this. That's cool. I get it. But you know what? We're going to have different people on here all the time.
Yep.
I'm going to get Roy back on here. I got to get more people. I don't want it just to be just baits in Texas or just Kentucky. I got to get some smallmouth guys on here. I'd love to give Travis Manson Smallmouth Crush. He gave me the Heisman. That's okay. That's his deal. I think I got Justin Lucas lined up. I think I can get Lucas on here. Got to get Big Fish Kelly Jordan on here. But y'all going to have to clear like 6 hours of your schedule.
KJ. KJ's right down the road. See him at the liquor store all the time.
Dude, hey, I'll be honest, guys. If y'all want a good jerkbait video, go to Kelly Jordan's Facebook page. He did one with Lucky Craft. It's about the Pointer 97. But you can apply everything he says on the Pointer 97 to any brand of jerkbait. He was really good about the colors and where to throw it, and the watercolor, the wind condition. He's actually a pretty sneaky jerkbait fisherman. I've been in the boat and he's caught him really good on it. But it's a really good video. But he's kind of getting a gray goatee on him.
Really? Somebody said, "How can I fish Captain Ron?" Man, just hit me up on IG. We can book dates. Full-time fishing guide.
Tim, I hate to tell you, man, if you want a channel that's a lot of fishing content, this is going to be more bait content than anything. It may kill my channel, but it's worked out really good for me. I'm not trying to be. I'd love to get as many subs as Ben Milliken one day, but that's not who I am. I'm the bait man, not the fishing man. But I'm going to go fishing and do more of it. You
are the bait man. There's only one bait man, dude. You got a niche.
People don't understand how much, and this is where I give a huge shout out to the Googans and Ben Milliken and guys like that. It is a lot of freaking work to go film. I do it for Mark, and I'm running a big camera, and I got batteries and stuff to swap out. It's a lot different than wearing a GoPro. But even when you just go fishing with somebody, you got to take your vlogging camera, you got to take your GoPro, you got to have batteries for the GoPro, memory cards. Dude, if you're only out there for 4 hours, you're spending more time messing with the camera than fishing.
Again, I'm still trying to figure out how to set the hook wearing a chesty. I haven't.
It's different, man. I actually have started wearing mine like right up here, and I try to come across, but I could do the old Jim Bitter, reel it up.
I thought about getting a shoulder cam, like Ike's got, had the shoulder cam.
Dude,
like a
that's the deal. Except my dumb ass would mount it on the wrong shoulder, and when I set the hook, crack, and there it goes throwing.
It's bad, dude. It's bad. I don't know how those guys do it. Ben and Justin, man, they're the same. Justin's putting out like 11 videos a week. Ben's putting out 5 or 6 a week. I don't even know how they're doing it. I don't even know how you can fish to do that.
10 Horse Monty's right. He says it takes about 5 hours to edit a 20-minute video. Dude, when I'm doing stuff for TV, you got to do guidelines. Your audio's got to be at certain decibel ranges. Your color's got to be in certain ranges. With commercials, I'm really only editing about 18 minutes of video, but it takes me probably about 3 full days.
Wow. I have no clue how to. I don't even know how to.
Tim, I'll absolutely come east. We'll go fishing wherever you want. We'll try to do that this spring. I'll be excited to go with you, but I don't pass down many fishing trips. As long as someone can watch my kids, keep my wife busy, and by that I mean girlfriends, not boyfriends, I'm good. Or at least don't tell me about it. So here's what hurts me while we're talking about filming, because we talk about this all the time. I like talking about stuff we don't ever talk about on podcasts. Or this ain't a pod. By the way, I'm tired of people calling web streams podcasts. I ain't Luke Duncan. I'm not a podcaster. Duncan's Donuts or whatever he's calling the Humpers. That's cool, man. I like that. Shout out to Luke. He's a great guy. I actually really enjoyed that podcast he did with Mercer about the fishing industry. But this ain't a podcast. I don't put it on iTunes or anything. These are called web streams. So the Baitman Live stream. It does. I always get that 50, 60-year-old guy in the local tag store. Oh, Baitman, I watched your podcast the other day. I said, you watched my web stream. You listened to a podcast. But
it's exactly right.
All right, let's get some more. Baxter, do you have a supercomputer to process all this video? No, I bought an $850 laptop at Best Buy. Here's the deal. I know what I'm looking for in a laptop. Best Buy's going to go on here and try to sell you some bullshit for $1,500 that really doesn't do that much difference. I prefer a iMac, a lap, Apple iBook or whatever they call them. What do you got there, Ronnie? iMac?
MacBook Pro.
MacBook Pro. That's really the best. But I don't do nothing on this laptop. I stream. I edit video and I Photoshop and do photos. I don't, get on every website I get on, even Tech Warehouse, anything I buy, it's all on a cell phone. This is my strictly base. I got a badass processor in it. I'm running out of memory, but what I'll do, probably next week, I'll take everything I've done this year and re-back it up on an external solid state drive, and I just won't touch it. Of course, my last hard drive crashed, but anyway.
I'm trying to figure all this out, man. Justin Royal sent me a link to his SSD. I don't even know what an SSD is.
Solid state drive.
My little chips that go in a GoPro, I don't even know how to get them to my computer. I just delete it all the time. I don't. Dude,
you get a cord like this, and you can hook it up to your GoPro. You know what? That's a video I should make. How the beginning steps of editing a fishing video. Yeah. Maybe me and Royal could collab on that. Dude, Royal's edits are good, man.
They are good. I
don't see how he does it every day. Like if I go fishing, I go out there, and let's just say me and you go catch 24 pounds by 11 o'clock. Our ass is staying out there till dark. And then when I get home, I'm going to be tired and hungry. I'm going to bed. I'll do one of that. We'll get you in a couple of weeks. We'll put that up there in a couple of weeks.
That's how I am. My deal is if I go out and I catch 24 pounds by daylight, the next morning I'll be out there trying to catch another 24 pounds. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Yeah, Royal, send me a link to the SSD you think I need to roll with, man. I need it. I'm going to go Best Buy tomorrow. I'm going to buy Baitman Jr. an Xbox X or something like that for Christmas. Actually, I'm gonna make my kid really mad for Christmas. He's been wanting an Xbox,
Yeah.
like begging. I ain't getting him one.
What?
I'm not getting him one. I'm gonna get him one. I hope he don't watch the stream. I'm gonna get him one. But I'm not giving it to him his birthday because he won't expect it. He's gonna be mad at me at Christmas, but he's really gonna love me on his birthday. They're just so close apart. So.
Switching to the.
All right, we've been on for damn hour and 39 minutes, Ronnie. We've had 200 viewers this whole time. Pretty good for putting it together at the last minute. No promotion, anything like that. Guys, any last questions for Ronnie Kelly or I? Let's see. Dustin Taylor, I got someone with the GoPros and editing, but I just don't know if anyone would watch it, or I don't want people to learn how and where. I fish too many people here won't find. All right, that is a very. Let's just be honest. That's a big reason a lot of people don't do GoPro. Number one, they're afraid people are going to fish their stuff or where they're fishing. And I'm going to be honest, that's going to happen. Like I did a video at Pickwick Lake. My buddy Jake, 3 days after it's up, he's like, dude, I'm catching all kinds of shit for us filming on those spots. And I'm like, which one? And I said, this real obvious? He's like, no, the non-obvious stuff. Like somehow they're figuring it out. I'm like, they watching you fishing anyway, bud. They're out there, you know.
Oh yeah, hole buzzers are gonna be hole buzzers. They're gonna figure it out, bro. They can break pictures down like detectives.
Dude, I know people that. Dude, Gerald Swindle straight up told me. He said, dude, I know. He said there's people that are posting their Instagram photos on burner phones. He said because people want to wait, you can get to all that Google information, you know. So they go catch a fish and haul it around the lake and then take a photo for Instagram so someone thinks they're somewhere else.
That's crazy.
I will say this. I never thought more than 100 people would want to watch me talk about baits on YouTube. So don't ever think you're not interesting or anything. You never know. Like, there's some people that's got way more subs than me that I think are awful at YouTube, but they're interesting.
Man, Justin Royal is trying to get that discount code for the crack hammer. Hey, J-Roll, look, I'm not only got the crack hammer, but I got them in that bait zip bag, that 6-8 bait zip bag. Crack hammer 10 at the DQ. You got to look for the dude that's shaking. The dude that's like this, just like, he comes out, he's all like.
Oh, that guy was on TikTok, except he was at Waffle House. I meant to send it to you. It said they be on something at the crackheads on something at Waffle House, and the guy was just shaking around the jukebox. I meant to send it to you.
Yeah, awesome. I'm hoping I'll find a guy with some OSP Blitz Max outside of a Pizza Hut or something.
All right, DJ Cool Raw. Thoughts on the Lose Carbon Fire? I've never even seen the Lose Carbon Fire. I'll always give you all my opinion, but if I haven't used something, I can't say yes or no. So, 118 Rules is freaking good, dude. We're gonna have a good time. All that works out for us. Hook sets are free. I got a Curve 55 and Black Magic that's silent. Is that normal? All my other ones have the standard rattle in them. You probably get your rattle stuck.
Yeah.
So make sure to tap it a little bit on the surface. Dude, actually, I wouldn't mind a silent Curve 55. That would be a sneaky little bait there. Yes, Justin has a YouTube channel, Sean. It's Justin Rural Fishing, man. If you ain't subbed, check him out, man. He keeps it real. One thing I like about Rural, he don't copy nobody. He does his own thing. He's got a really cool thing going right now. I don't know if you've seen it, Ron. It's Tackle Room Tuesday. Send him a picture of your tackle room, and he's either gonna rate it, or he's gonna roast it. I haven't sent mine because I know I'm on for roasting. I think we're gonna. I talked to him today. We're gonna try to do a collab based on that thing. Maybe he'll send me the same pictures, and I'll webcam myself talking about it or whatnot. So send him a picture of your tackle room, your tackle wall, and maybe me and Royal will do a dual roasting rating session. So
that's awesome. That's good stuff.
Anything else you want to talk about before we get off here?
Man, I'm ready to go to bed.
Where's Joe Don?
Joe Don is in Calvert working on a barn. He's building a barn. Barn dominium.
Ooh.
Yeah, his boss, they got some horses in a stable, and they sold the stable, so they built a barn. And Joe Don can kind of do everything. So He's down there. He should be home tomorrow, hopefully.
If I was ever to move to Texas, hint, hint, I would like to eventually buy a barn dominium. I think they're freaking awesome.
They're hot, man. That's a big deal around here.
Yeah. Actually, I need a tackle dominium.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm
That'd
thinking.
be awesome. Just pull the boat right in there.
Dude, Edwin Evers has got one. It's badass. When I was at his place in Oklahoma, it was like this huge barn. And I said, "What'd you build that for?" "Oh, that's my boat shed." I'm like, "Boat shed? That's bigger than these people's houses where I've come from." And he just pulls it straight in and goes out the back.
One of my customers is next door neighbors with Edwin, and they're like, "Man, they love it, but the lights, dude. He's got like airplane lights around it, and they're like, man, we can't even sleep at night."
It's crazy. So, all right, guys. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow night. High chance I don't. I'm going to link some stuff in the description of the video. I'm really tired, so it may be in the morning. Do me a favor. Y'all leave a comment on the video. I'll do some streaming tomorrow night. Maybe by myself. I may get Eric on here. But I got to take care of the boss of the house, the wife. I got to stop by Santa. So, Ronnie, I want to let you know, dude, I appreciate you. You're a real G. And anytime you want to talk baits, we can get Ronnie on here anytime. And make sure, if you don't use the Baitman discount code this week, use that code CaptainRon10 on 6 cents, or you can use CaptainRon10 on Gator Waders. So
absolutely, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Hey, not a problem. Thanks you guys for joining in the chat as always. And don't forget about my